What's up, students? I'm Jordan, the lead worship pastor here at CCV. I'm stoked to be with you for a little bit tonight, talking about something that's near and dear to my heart, what it means to truly worship. Over the last few weeks, we've been talking about what it means to be a Christ-centered difference maker. And today I'm really excited to talk about our purpose to truly worship. Let me start with a question. What is worship? If we ask that question in the room, some answers we might hear are the singing time each week at our weekend experience. Through our relationships, we can worship God. Through our gifts in serving others. And all of these would be part of the right answer. Here's the main point of this entire message. Someone who truly worships is someone who gives everything they have to God to show Him that He's everything to them. Singing is part of that. It's a big part of it. But it's not all that there is when we talk about truly worshiping. In fact, when we truly worship, our times of singing together at the weekend experience or camp is only made better. The word worship actually comes from the Old English word worthship, which means placing value and honor onto something or someone that holds the highest priority in our life. We were all created to worship. Through sin, man has gotten mixed up on who the main focus of our worship should be. We all worship something or someone. We all have something or someone that takes the highest place of priority in our lives. For some of us, it might be a crush or a boyfriend or a girlfriend. And you go out of your way, you know you do, almost plan your day around being with them. They're priority number one, and you live like it. Maybe it's getting likes on Instagram or building your following on Snapchat or YouTube. Maybe it's a scholarship that you've been working so hard for. We all have something as priority number one. None of these things are bad things. It's just that they can be distracting us from who should be priority number one. You see, the question isn't whether we are or are not worshiping. The question is who we're worshiping. Jesus talks directly to this in Matthew 22. Check this out. In Matthew chapter 22, verses 35 through 39, one of the teachers of the law, an expert in the law, tested Jesus with this question. He asked, "Teacher, which is the greatest commandment in the law?" And Jesus replied, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength, and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment, and the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself." So Jesus replies to this question, which is the greatest commandment, by actually giving two things, not just one. Both are dependent on each other and are foundational to us truly worshiping. The first one, love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, with all your strength and all your mind. Let's break this down just a little bit. In the first commandment that Jesus gives the teacher, in response to his question, he captures the urgency for us to love God with every part of who we are, not just the parts that are convenient. Check this out. The word heart, love the Lord your God with all your heart, actually means emotion or will. All of us can relate to the heart. We've all got emotions. I know it's the music guy up here talking, but don't worry, I'm not gonna get us into a big circle here and share our feelings and sing one of the songs from Greatest Showman. Although, guys, don't think that we don't know that you crank the Greatest Showman soundtrack and belt it with everything that you've got when you get the chance. For some of us, we can relate to giving our whole heart. And frankly, it scares us. We've been hurt when we've opened our hearts to others. And the thought of us opening all of our heart to anyone else seems like the last thing we want to do. But God created your heart, your emotions. He knows your thoughts before you think them. That's scary, right? And He's asking for all of it. The broken and the imperfect pieces, the perfect and the put together pieces. Jesus says, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul. Soul means the whole of a man's being, the real us, and all of our physical nature. This word literally means our breath. The things that cause us to live, the things that are second nature to us, the day-to-day things that we do without even thinking about them. God asks us to give those to Him. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength. Strength, what we put our hands to, what we can control, the action to what we believe. Let me ask you a question. What have you been gifted to do? You can be a little prideful here, it's okay. What has God given you as a talent? What are you really great at? How are you using this to point people back to him instead of for your own gain or fame? Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your strength and all your mind. Our mind, our thoughts, and our knowledge, the pursuit of knowledge. Our mind means the operation of reason, the things that we set our minds to know, to dream. So what Jesus does here is he says we are supposed to prioritize God in literally every aspect of our lives. From our heart, our emotions, and our will, to our strength, our gifts, talents, and abilities. From our soul, our very existence, the things we do without even thinking about them, to our mind, our thoughts, and our dreams. He doesn't say part of your heart, part of your soul, part of your strength, and part of your mind. He says all of it. But he doesn't stop there. The second command that he gives, and he says, is just like it. We're also commanded to not keep our love of the Lord to ourselves, but to love our neighbors as ourselves. To take this vertical connection with God and take it horizontally to the people around us. Have you ever had to hold in great news? It's almost impossible. People that you've hardly known all of a sudden become your best friends because you've got to share the news with literally everyone. Literally. Why would we ever want to keep the truth and freedom of God to ourselves? Of all the secrets to share, this should be the first to come out. To take this perfect, inspiring, eternal relationship with the creator of the universe, this vertical connection with the Father, and to turn it external. This is so important, and here's why. Earlier in Matthew, in chapter 15, verses 8 and 9, Jesus is talking to the Pharisees and the teachers of the law, and he says, "These people honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. They worship me in vain." Man, this is so hard to keep at the front of our minds. They worship me in vain means that they might as well have not even tried. Ouch. It's easy to go through the motions in a service, but leave the faith that we claim in the rooms we sing and not back up what we sing with how we live. Our lips are declaring praise to God, but our hearts are far from Him. How can we effectively live so that what we sing about is in step with how we live? This is so important. Please hear me say this. God's not asking us to come to Him as perfect people. That's not what He's looking for in people who truly worship Him. He's asking us to come to Him with all of who we are, surrendered. When we live out what we sing, our songs become more than just melodies in a room. They become anthems of the sons and daughters of the one true God, singing with one voice what they believe and to whom they're giving their all to. They become battle cries of an army of believers, Christ-centered difference makers who will stop at nothing to advance the kingdom of Jesus in their schools, in their neighborhoods, and in their city. These songs, when sung by the true worshipers, don't stay in the rooms that they're sung, but they go outside these walls and make a difference. I want to be a part of that movement. Don't you? To truly worship someone who gives everything they have to show God that He's everything to them. We can do this. Are you in? Your youth pastor is going to take it from here.